This is Ahmad Suradji. His twisted obsession with his victims' saliva led him down a dark path of murder and mayhem. He claimed that drinking saliva from his almost deceased victims will enhance his dark magic. He is known as a notorious serial killer hailing from Indonesia. Was he a gifted shaman or a deranged psycho? Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on various sources. Viewer discretion is advised, as the video may contain graphic and disturbing content. Living on the fringes of society in the outskirts of Medan, the capital of North Sumatra, Indonesia, Ahmad made a name for himself as a renowned witch doctor or shaman. His services were in high demand, with clients coming from far and wide to seek his magical solutions. And with prices ranging from $200 to $400 per session, it's no wonder Ahmad was able to amass a fortune. But behind his charming facade lay a dark and twisted secret. Ahmad had a sickening obsession with women, and it wasn't long before his services took a sinister turn. With the help of his 3 wives, who were all sisters, he lured unsuspecting victims to their deaths. It all began when 21-year-old Kemala Dewi went missing, and her body was later discovered buried in a sugarcane field near Suradji's home. Dewi had sought out Suradji's services for a magical solution to her marital and fertility problems, asking a young rickshaw puller named Andreas to take her to Datuk Suradji's infamous moniker. Despite her request for secrecy, Dewi never returned from her visit to Suradji's house. Did she know what awaited her there, or was she planning to go somewhere else after meeting with him? We may never know the full extent of Suradji's twisted motivations, but one thing is clear: this was a man who had no regard for the lives of the women he lured to their deaths. One of Suradji's victims was Kemala Dewi, a young woman who disappeared after visiting his home for a magical solution to her marital and fertility problems. Dewi's body was discovered just 3 days later, buried naked and strangled near Suradji's property. But it wasn't until a man was searching for weed to feed his livestock in a nearby sugarcane field that her body was finally uncovered. Heavy rainfall had caused the soil to become muddy, displacing the top layer and revealing the gruesome truth of what Suradji had done. As the search for Kemala Dewi's killer intensified, a group of brave villagers were tasked with investigating the sugarcane field where her body was discovered. With only their instincts to guide them, they dug and prodded the mound with a stick, only to be hit with a wave of putrid decay that left them running and retching. Despite this shocking discovery, the military authorities didn't initially see cause for alarm. After all, the location was surrounded by cattle breeders, and animal carcasses weren't an uncommon sight in the area. The military simply advised the villagers to keep digging and see what they could uncover. But as the investigation continued, it soon became clear that this was no mere animal carcass. And when the true extent of Ahmad Suradji's heinous crimes was finally revealed, it would send shockwaves through the entire community. As the villagers dug deeper into the night, the putrid stench of decay only grew stronger, causing them to pause and catch their breaths every few minutes. The excavation was so unbearable that they had to take frequent breaks just to get some fresh air. After hours of grueling digging, they finally uncovered the source of the smell: the rotting corpse of a naked woman. The next morning, the police arrived at the scene, and it was confirmed that the body belonged to Kemala Dewi, who had been reported missing a few days prior. Her family was devastated by the news, having no idea that she had gone to meet Suradji. It wasn't until Andreas, the rickshaw driver who had dropped her off at Suradji's house, came forward as a key witness that they learned the truth. As Andreas revealed what happened to Dewi, the police wasted no time and went straight to Suradji's house. Though he denied any involvement in Dewi's murder, the police discovered her personal belongings, including her dress, handbag, and bracelet, in his home. Ahmad Suradji was detained by authorities on April 20, 1997. At first, he confessed to killing only 16 women over the course of 5 years. However, after further investigation, the police found clothes and jewelry that belonged to 25 missing women in Suradji's home. After intense questioning, Suradji finally admitted to killing more than 42 women, including Dewi, in an 11-year period. His victims ranged from 11 to 30 years old, with most of them being sex workers who sought out Suradji for his infamous magical solutions. It's worth noting that police had never linked any of the women to Suradji prior to his arrest, as they believed they were too ashamed to admit seeking his help. As the excavation continued, piles and piles of human bones were unearthed from the same field. A police officer who participated in the search remarked that there were so many bodies that there could be even more than the 42 victims already identified. In a chilling reenactment, Suradji showed the police and the nation how he carried out his gruesome ritual. He would lure his victims into the sugarcane field, dig a waist-deep hole, and make them sit with their legs outstretched. Then, he would strangle them, sometimes using his bare hands, sometimes with a cable wire. After the victim was dead, he would suck their saliva and bury them with their head facing towards his house, believing that it would give him more power. In a shocking revelation, Ahmad Suradji, also known as the Sorcerer Killer, claimed that he killed 42 women in order to gain more powers. Suradji claimed that his deceased father, who was also a shaman, appeared in his dream and told him that if he drank the saliva of 70 women, his powers would increase. Shockingly, Suradji thought that the fastest way to do so was by killing the women. However, Suradji later admitted that his father did not directly tell him to kill. This twisted reasoning left the police and the nation in disbelief. The idea that someone could commit such horrific crimes for supposed magical powers is truly disturbing. It makes you wonder what other twisted beliefs lurk in the minds of some of the world's most notorious killers. The story of Ahmad Suradji is one that still haunts the people of Indonesia to this day. After being found guilty of the murders of at least 42 women, Suradji, along with his first wife Timini, were sentenced to death by firing squad. But the story doesn't end there. Years after the trial, Timini won a plea and had her sentence reduced to life imprisonment, leaving many people wondering if justice had truly been served. Meanwhile, Suradji faced the ultimate punishment and was executed by firing squad in 2008. The case of Ahmad Suradji is a chilling reminder of the evil that exists in the world and the importance of justice for the victims and their families. May the memory of the victims never be forgotten. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the darkest depths of the criminal world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to follow us on social media for even more content and updates.